All right, let's talk about something I think hits close to home for a lot of us. It's that, well, that deeply familiar struggle, right? That huge, frustrating gap between our biggest ambitions and, our actual inaction. It's a paradox so many of us live with every single day. Okay, let's just dive right in. Does this screen feel a little too familiar? On one side, you've got your dreams, the person you really want to be. And on the other, well, there's the reality of how the evening actually went. For a lot of us, this looks like a page ripped straight out of our own diary. And this gap, right, the space between the dream and the reality, it can feel like this constant nagging source of guilt. It's so easy to look at that and think it's some kind of personal failing, that something is just wrong with us. But what if it's not? I mean, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? You probably asked yourself this 1,000 times, maybe lying awake at night. The thing is, the answer probably isn't about a lack of desire or discipline. It's actually something much deeper, and honestly, a lot more interesting. So the first and probably most important step in solving this whole puzzle is to just throw away a word that has never ever helped anybody. The word lazy. It's just a dead-end diagnosis, and it completely misses the point of what's really happening. We all tell ourselves this story, don't we? It's a really simple explanation for a super complex feeling. But what psychology tells us is that this narrative isn't just wrong, it's actually stopping us from seeing what's truly going on inside our own minds. And here's the crucial point. Your inaction is not evidence of some character flaw. Think of it more like a hidden script, a protective, almost automatic reflex in your brain that you're probably not even aware is running in the background. So, if it's a reflex, let's unpack the science behind it. We need to get what's really happening up there when you choose the comfort of the couch over the challenge of your calling. You know that feeling of being totally frozen, just completely and utterly stuck? Well, it actually has a name: action paralysis. See, it's not laziness. It's a genuine psychological state where you're so overwhelmed that you literally can't even start. This paralysis doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's usually sparked by one, or let's be honest, more often a combination of these three incredibly powerful psychological triggers. And it all starts with the goal itself. Now, here's the real paradox in all of this. The very thing that you'd think should be motivating you the most, that huge, beautiful, life-changing dream, is often the very thing that's holding you down like an anchor. And this really shows you a core function of the human mind. Your brain's number one job isn't to make you happy or successful. Its main job is to keep you safe. So a massive goal, like write a novel, doesn't sound inspiring to your primal brain. It sounds dangerous. Let's just trace this logic for a second, because from your brain's perspective, it's flawless. A huge, ambitious goal, well, that carries a pretty big risk of failure. And failure brings emotional pain, shame, inadequacy, all that good stuff. Therefore, the safest, most logical course of action is to do nothing. Inaction becomes a successful survival strategy. Think about it this way. Your brain would rather you achieve 0% of your dream with absolute certainty than risk even a 1% chance of a huge, ego-crushing failure. 0 is safe, 1 is a threat. So how on earth do we break this cycle? Well, the answer isn't to just try harder or to force yourself with more willpower. It's to reframe the entire problem, to change your perspective on what your laziness actually is. This is where we can really shift the conversation from self-criticism to self-awareness. Instead of beating yourself up with, "I'm just lazy," you can reframe it to, "Okay, my brain is just trying to protect me." Instead of, "I lack willpower," you can try, "My ambition is so big it's actually causing paralysis." This isn't about making excuses. It's about getting a more accurate diagnosis of the real problem. And look, if you take just one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Your procrastination, your laziness, it's not you. It's a signal from you to you. It's an alarm bell, and it's ringing for a reason. That feeling of resistance, it's trying to tell you something really important. It's telling you that the way you've framed the task is triggering your brain's threat response. So instead of fighting that feeling, you actually need to listen to the information it's giving you, and then change the task itself. So we'll leave you with that thought. Maybe the solution isn't some big war against yourself. Maybe it's more of a negotiation with that protective part of your brain. The first step is just to listen to that signal of paralysis and then ask yourself, what's the smallest, safest, most ridiculously easy first step I could take right now. Because a small step today is infinitely more powerful than a grand plan that always starts tomorrow.